Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brightops, and we're gonna try something completely different. You see, originally, I was planning on recording a series on a game that meant a lot to me years ago, called Dungeon Keeper 2. I even found my old copy of the game, back in the age of CDs, which I'm not sure just how old my audience is, but I'm sure that some of you must know what CDs are. But yeah, sadly, for reasons I'm not entirely sure, my computer doesn't want to play it. I might be inclined to go for COC to see if there. I think is it COC? Eh. Well, basically there is a. Never mind. I might look for it at another place. However, on Steam there is a game that I have had my eye on for a while, called War of the for the Overworld. See, the problem with the Dungeon Keeper series is, well, anyone who follows it would probably be aware of the attempt to turn it into a mobile game and the controversy that came up with just how badly they made it pay to win, which more or less kind of ended the series. However, a lot of people who used to work for Bullfrog, who is the company that produced it, went and created War for the Overworld, which is, as is part of its selling points, the spiritual successor to the Dungeon Keeper series that was long overdue. And since I've honestly wanted to play it, and I needed something to play, let's see what the campaign's like, shall we? I decided to grab the, well, the big version of the thing. So let's see, proper campaigns. Let's start with the. We'll start with the first one. Just the basic standard campaign, because these two here are other. They are other campaigns. They are DLC campaigns. But we'll go with the base one.
Now go!
Welcome back, Underlord. I must say, I wasn't expecting you quite so soon. The transference may have left you feeling a bit foggy in the head. Focus now. I'll try to ease you back into it. Fortunately, this does seem to get easier each time. This is your home realm, the source of your power, and the anchor that binds you to reality. Many years ago it was destroyed, and you were cast out into formless nothing. Fortunately, you've returned from your exile to once again challenge those who would stand between us and the mortal realm of Kairos. Your resurrection heralds the next phase of our assault upon its wretched empire, now led by the newly crowned Emperor Lucius. But he is least and final of our worries. It's his generals and the protection of their goddess Kira that will truly test our mettle. Ready yourself, Underlord. Let's begin our war for the Overworld.
I might end up having to. What's the word I'm looking for here? Ah, yes, actually lower the sound of the actual narrator, but we'll see. We'll start with the beginning.
I've been looking for someone to spearhead my campaign. But before we get stuck in, let's refresh that old mind of yours.
Well, I might as well do the tutorial. Get it out and out of the way.
Welcome back, Underlord. It's been a long time since you were banished to the ether. You've returned as a husk of your former self. But I've taught far denser Underlords than you. Let's start with the basics. This is your dungeon core.
Alright, help button is decaled. Think about that, that's fine.
The tether that allows you to manifest your malignant will. If destroyed, your consciousness will once again be scattered to the void. Your workers are an extension of your dark will. They have many jobs, but their main focus is in carving out the halls of your dungeon. Put them to work by clicking and dragging your cursor upon the flashing tiles to tag them for excavation. Your workers will now rush forth to dig out and claim the tagged area. Once they have laid down the stones, marking the ground as your own, you will be able to build rooms upon the finished tiles. While your lackeys get to work, look to the east of your dungeon core. This is a gateway, one of the many portals that you'll use to attract minions to your dungeon. Order your workers to dig a path to it now.
Nope. Turn that off. Actually, that was a misclick there. But, yes, the interesting thing is, the voice of the narrator, he's actually the guy who was the narrator for the Dungeon Keeper series. And he has an amazing voice for it.
Now that you have a gateway, minions can enter into your service. But first, you'll need to build the rooms necessary to entice them in. Start by building a barracks. This room will allow your minions to hone their combat skills without the risk of permanent death or disfigurement. Select it and build it by clicking and dragging your hand across the claimed tiles. Most rooms must be built at least 3 by 3 in order to function properly, though the lair and vault are effective at any size.
Alright, we've got ourselves a barracks right there.
A gnarling has entered your dungeon. Attracted by the barracks, these green-skinned scrappers aren't quite right in the head, and they'll happily hack at your foes until someone is dead. Outside of combat, gnarlings will train themselves within your barracks. You can pick them up with a click if you find them slouching off, then deposit them anywhere within your dungeon with a right click. For further entertainment, you can always put yourself directly into their head by casting possession upon them.
Ah, yes.
Possession will allow you to inhabit the mind of a minion, allowing you to see through their eyes, control their movement, and activate their abilities. Don't worry, Underlord. You'll soon get used to this. Now you can control your minions' movement with the W, A, S, and D keys, and change their unique quickbar abilities using the number keys. Left-click to use their current ability. Push the escape key to end possession. You can increase the efficiency of props within your rooms by fortifying the walls closest to the props. Workers will fortify walls automatically when they've completed all their other tasks. Now that you have some minions, you will need to cater for their basic needs. First, build a lair, so the pitiful little meat sacks can get some rest.
I know I'm being kind of quiet at the moment, just listening to the... But while the instructions are very basic, just listening to the narrator is just... It is a delight.
Well done. But see how your gold reserves have been depleted. Command your workers to mine some of the nearby gold by tagging the gleaming tiles. They collect and return gold to your dungeon coffers, allowing you to spend it on whatever your dark heart desires. Your core can store up to 16,000 gold pieces. But if that number sounds pitifully small, or if wealth inspires the evil in you, simply build a vault to store more. Now that you've got a bit of coin in your pocket, you can build a slaughter pan. This room produces scores of micro-piglets, a delicacy that will sustain the weak flesh of your minions by filling their bellies with succulent pig flesh. A gnarling has entered your dungeon.
See another gnarling, so another one of our warrior I think of them as goblins, honestly.
Your dungeon has been breached. Cast Rally upon these spectres, and your minions will immediately sally forth to wreak bloody havoc.
See, Rally. I don't seem to really have Rally.
Well done. Now finish off the rest of these manifestations with a second rally flag.
Where? I've seen Recall, but I'm not seeing Rally. See, Rally flag, Rally.
You can cast Recall upon a minion to immediately return them to your dungeon. Though if they are attacked as it channels, then the spell will fizzle into nothing.
That's annoying. It doesn't. I'm not seeing Rally and wait, let's work. Oh, there. Okay. So there's the stupid Rally thing. Okay, we can work with that. And also, just for the sake of it, we'll also extend the pig pen a little bit. Because we can. No, misclick that. Come, you armored globs. See, how did these spectres come from? Okay. Oh, so the wants us to actually recall someone. That's fine.
You're on a roll, Underlord. And I've been waiting far too long to begin my war for the Overworld. Let us enter the realm of Kairos and continue your retraining against a more fitting enemy.
Okay, there we go.
Well done, Underlord. I see it all coming back quite quickly. I expected nothing less, but there's much still to learn. Why don't we work in a bit of murder while we're at it? It's time for you to enter the realm of Kairos.
Okay. And as we can see, we now see what the achievements for this thing actually are. Which we can I might run on my own time. I might go back and do these on my own, now that I have an idea of what's going on. But right now, we've got to go mess with some innocent people. Because there's our initial home realm. But let's visit Kairos at Keepsake Keep.
Now's the time for a bigger challenge. Before you lies an Imperial keep, guarded by a certain Lord Rusimov. He had a bit of an accident that melted most of his face, but he's no less vigilant a soldier. He's been sent to guard an object that could threaten our campaign. Get in there and burn the rest of him, Underlord.
All right. You heard the voice in our heads. Let's go kill people.
We've punctured the veil of this world through a schism, a point of weakness in the bonds between realms. Unfortunately for us, the Empire has crafted defenses to keep us from the heart of their kingdom. These inhibitors prevent Underlords from trespass, but whether it's bone or stone, it can be broken. I suspect that this Empire force has yet to taste true battle. But before you go engaging them, you'll need to muster up some minions. Unfortunately for me, your time in the Ether has left you a weak husk of your former self. In order to reacquire your powers, you will need to access the veins of evil. Open them now, and use a sin to unlock the archive.
See to do. Where? Ah. Just trying to work out where that's.
You've discovered a perception shrine. You have claimed a gateway.
Alright, there's the shrine. We've claimed that gateway. Ah! Oh, here. It was talking to this. Okay.
Archive unlocked. This room will allow your minions to research additional sins, which can be spent to recover your lost powers. Build one now, to begin researching additional sins.
Let's see, not quite. Ah, so that's what.
This shrine uncovers the fog of war over a wide area, allowing you to spy on your enemies and keep track of their movements.
Okay. Yes, I'm aware that I need to.
To have your workers prioritize objectives in a specific area, place a worker rally banner in that location. Build an archive, Underlord. Your forgotten powers are far more impressive than those you currently wield.
Yes, I guess I figured. I'm just getting stuff organized.
A cultist has found its way into your dungeon. Attracted by the magical tomes within your archive, these minions will spend most of their time researching sins for you. Though they are weak combatants, they have the power to curse your foes, making them weak to your other minions' blows.
I have to admit,
Your
they do look.
minions are unfortunate beings of weak flesh. Build them a lair so they may rest. A cultist has entered your dungeon.
Alright, let them
A
sleep.
hungry minion can always find work elsewhere. Build a slaughter pen before your minions starve.
Working on it, we just don't. We just always use more minions.
I am here.
Yes, I know that I need food. I'm working on it. So you don't have to point it out to me. Well, we are seeing a bit of the enemy's dungeon, because clearly the Empire has set up an outpost in this area. And we will deal with them as required.
You need a larger vault.
Alright, we kind of need people to, you know...
Your cultists have worked hard to earn a new sin. Use it within the veins of evil to unlock the tavern. This room provides your minions with succulent cooked pig flesh and stout ales. After eating a meal within its hearthed halls, their spirits will be raised, increasing their productivity for a short time.
Well, look at this. A good little middle ground between the where my minions sleep and where they get their food. Seems like the perfect place to...
Tavern unlocked. The tavern is an essential room for keeping your minions fed. As they increase in level, they will eventually rebel if there is no tavern to sate their hunger. Build one now, and remember that the tavern is unique and must be built at least 3 by 5 in order to be effective.
Unfortunately, we got impenetrable rock, which we can't actually dig out. Annoying, but still.
You'll still need a slaughter pen in order to keep your tavern stocked. But in a pinch, you can always drop some alternative meat into the grinder. Rooms will only attract a certain number of minions before becoming full. In order to attract more, you will need to expand them.
Let's have a look-see.
Nothing in this life is free, Underlord, and you'll regularly need to pay your minions for their hard work. Be sure to keep an eye on your reserves, for if you've not enough gold for their wages, they'll be swift to find gainful employment elsewhere. Fortunately, your minions will return some of their earnings by buying meals within your own tavern. What a delicious arrangement.
Okay, so bigger the room, the more units we can actually produce of that type. Unfortunately, because of the impenetrable rock, we can't really do as much with this as I would have preferred.
Something evil stirs out there. Scouts, go find what the hell's making all that racket.
Rally your minions to defeat these scouts once they breach your dungeon. Let's keep Sarusimov in the dark a little while longer. You should try using the lightning and heal spells to assist your minions in combat.
Alright, but hopefully before we get to that... No, that's... See
A
how...
Narling has entered your dungeon.
Alright. Alright, we got the spells, let's
The
see.
health of minions is represented by petals surrounding their unit shield.
Zap,
Once
zap.
no petals remain, a creature will fall unconscious and soon die, unless returned to its lair.
Zap,
to
zap,
recover.
zap, zap, zap. You're dead.
To have your minions ignore rally flags and remain focused on their current objectives, you can assign them to the Peace Band.
They should be back by now. Ugh. Bar the doors. We wait for reinforcements.
Look how easily your minions cut down these sappers. If I didn't know better, I'd say the Empire is woefully unprepared. Once minions are rested, you can leave them to their work or force them to train by dropping them in a barracks.
I'm gonna hit you. Not too common.
Oh yes, one of those interesting things about this game is... Yes, each unit has their own unique name. Such as this gnarling here is Relch. While we also have Stampy over here. Stampy the worker. Alright. Subtract more minions to the dungeon. I'm trying, it's just difficult
If you don't
to
want
do.
to do something, you could at least vocalize it under Lord.
Let's see. Who? We'll send the cultists to the peace band so that they don't have to
The
worry.
Empire's Templar is their core foot soldier. Dim-witted and pure battle fodder for an underlord, despite his training in the barracks.
Alright. Let's see, we've increased the archives a bit.
Taste my blight.
And we've got enough room to hopefully enhance
And you bleed.
hopefully enhance the barracks a little. See, expand the dungeon. We're trying.
Darkness. Behold my evil.
Worker Rally will create a banner around which your workers will prioritize tasks. Slap the banner with a right click to dismiss it, or right click on its icon to dismiss all Worker Rally flags at once.
Stay still.
I will admit I do generally prefer having, well, I do prefer having walls and doors, but the amount of unminable rock is just kind of difficult, making it difficult.
I'll tear you apart.
Oh well, we'll make do. Even if we do have to tear down a few walls to do so.
Mind the hit my
Let's see, how's the training going?
I'll tear you apart.
Well, it's making progress, which is something.
Behold my evil. Nice and bloody. Stay still. I'll fill you with poison.
Alright, let's try a different tactic. We're just gonna turn this whole pretty much this whole area near where the observatory perception shrine is, into a training field.
Behold my evil.
See, we can't spend any more of the actual sin points for gathering, so
Ether. Mine's a cozy. That's mine.
let's see, units attracted 6 out of 4.
Alluring, isn't it?
We could use some
I
more room.
appreciate a power nap as much as the next dark god. But could you finish the job?
For you, fatty.
He's giving me sass. The guy is giving me sass.
That's mine.
Behold my evil.
Stay still.
And admittedly, I'm just spending some time just gathering gold for the sake of it. As well. Oh, we also have the option of selling rooms, which we're not gonna do a lot of, but who knows?
What are the
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Let's see.
I miss you.
Let's see. Remove from the peace band. Well, they're removed, so let us gather our minions together and we will attack. Actually, better idea. We're going to set up our little. We're going to set rather than blast through this door. We're going to call all of our people over to here and just dig through the wall.
It is payday.
Yes, it's payday, but they can afford and they've got to earn it first and foremost. Okay,
If
admittedly.
any of your minions fall in combat, your workers will attempt to rescue them and return them to their lair, where they may rest and recover.
Okay, going through the door, a lot easier than digging through the wall.
The enemy have breached the damn walls. Steel yourselves, lads.
Prophecy will temporarily remove the fog of war in a small area, allowing you to scout the map and spy on your enemies. The Empire's cowardly priestess supports her allies from a distance through her wholly misled beliefs in the goddess Kira. You'll often find her cowering in the archive and sanctuary.
got you up?
And our minion has gone in and is basically stealing their lair. So we've stolen one room. We're currently working on bashing through some other rooms to more or less make their lives interesting.
That's mine. Stop it.
A cultist is unhappy because it hasn't been paid.
You know what? We're gonna turn off the flag just for a moment. Simply because we just basically let them be paid via the treasure they just stole.
He goes.
Because we might as well. We might as well take full advantage of the fact that, well, they can't really stop us. Ah, there's a friendly neighborhood
Heal will
lord.
restore an injured minion based on their current health. The healing energies will be shared with other nearby minions if they are also injured.
The light is gone. I am extinguished.
It seems almost charitable to put him out of his misery.
Yep, but now we're just attacking the inhibitor.
Well done, Underlord. You're learning much faster this time.
So we've gone through the first proper levels. The tutorial plus the first mission. I
We've
might...
barely even started, and you already have a notch on your belt. Well done, Underlord. But there's no rest for the wicked. 2 inhibitors still stand between us and the mainland. But after your butchery of poor Lord Rusimov, I doubt they'll be as weakly defended.
Okay. But yes, as I said, I might end up going, in my own time, going back to some of these old previous missions in order to try and get as many of the achievements as possible. Let's see, 2... Oh yeah, that's 3. And that would be 4. Nice. But that can wait for another time. This was just a quick glance into a new series I'm going to be trying out. I sincerely hope to hear back from you, from my viewers, to see if people are interested in seeing me continue. But until next time, my name is Bright Ops, and I look forward to hearing from you.